So imagine you've just finished wiring this massive 64-screen video wall for a commercial sports bar. You power everything up and you get just nothing.
Yeah, just a giant wall of blank screens.
Right, exactly. And the culprit is usually that your video source and your modern displays are, speaking completely different digital dialects. So, okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is to do a deep dive into a highly technical product page from HDTVSupply for this little $299 black box.
Yeah, the SmartAVI V2V-D2H-01-S converter. Quite a mouthful.
It is a
Yeah.
mouthful, but we are looking at exactly what this gadget does and why it even exists in the messy reality of connecting older technology to modern AV setups.
Right. Well, when you look at the back of a modern monitor, you generally expect a single cable HDMI solution.
Yeah.
But legacy gear often splits the signal up. Like it sends video out through a DVI-D port and then audio out through a totally separate SPDIF connection.
Which is super annoying.
Oh, totally. And what this Smart AVI box does is it takes those two distinct physical streams and basically forces them to play nice together into one single HDMI 1.1 output.
Okay, but how does it actually do that without creating, a laggy out-of-sync mess? Because it isn't just a physical adapter, right? It is kind of like an international diplomat, seamlessly translating two different languages into one unified language that the monitor can actually understand.
I really like that diplomat analogy. Or you could even think of it like a high-speed zipper, just taking the teeth of the video signal and the teeth of the audio signal and perfectly locking them together frame by frame.
Wow, right into a single HDMI cord.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is the sheer preservation of fidelity during that whole zipping process. Because combining signals usually means you have to compress them, which, degrades the quality.
Right, you lose that crispness.
Exactly. But here the device matches the original resolution up to 1080p at 60 Hz while actively preserving these massive uncompressed audio files.
Wait, really? So it can handle the heavy-hitting audio formats too?
Oh yeah. The specs explicitly mention formats like LPCM 7.1 and DTS HD and Dolby True HD. I mean, we're talking multi-channel studio quality sound that needs huge amounts of bandwidth. The box multiplexes that heavy data without stripping out any of the nuance.
Okay, I have to push back on this entire premise, though. $299 is a pretty hefty price tag just to keep aging tech on life support. Why wouldn't you just upgrade the source equipment altogether? Or, I don't know, grab a $10 adapter cable online?
Well, for starters, upgrading commercial source equipment often costs tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, wow, yeah. That makes sense.
So in that context, a $299 converter is incredibly cost-effective.
Yeah.
And as for the $10 cable, well, that is just a passive piece of wire.
Which means it relies entirely on the strength of the original signal, right?
Exactly. And by the time a video signal travels through a long cable in a commercial setting, the frequencies start to degrade and scatter. But the SmartAVI converter isn't some flimsy dongle. It's an active device featuring automatic input equalization.
So wait, does that mean it's physically altering the electrical signal before it even converts it?
Yeah, it acts like a signal amplifier, basically. It analyzes the incoming data and boosts the specific frequencies that weakened over the cable run. That ensures a pristine picture before the translation even happens.
That is wild for something so small. I mean, it's just, what, 3.5 inches wide?
Yep, 3.5 inches wide,
Yeah.
and it only weighs 0.35 pounds. But it really packs a punch. It also handles HTTP 1.1, which is that anti-piracy handshake that constantly checks if your devices are allowed to play the content.
Oh, I hate when that fails.
Right. A cheap dongle often drops that handshake and just gives you a blank screen. Plus, this box has CEC support and the processing power to push the final output up to 60 feet over an AWG26 cable.
Which uses thicker copper wire to prevent signal loss over those massive sports bar matrix setups you see on HDTVSupply.
Exactly. It's built for serious integration, not just a quick living room fix.
So, what does this all mean for you? Look, even if you aren't wiring a commercial video raw, you've likely experienced the frustration of a digital handshake failing. Just staring at a stubborn, no-signal message on your living room TV.
We all have.
Yeah, it's the worst. But understanding that signal conversion isn't just about making the plugs fit physically, it's about actively managing data streams and timing and electrical strength. Knowing that can save you hours of troubleshooting.
Absolutely. And as we push relentlessly toward 8K displays and beyond, it really raises a critical question for the future of our electronics.
Yeah, what happens next? Right.
Will the industry eventually settle on a truly universal standard that renders physical hardware converters like this obsolete?
Mhm.
Or will the constant tangled history of video standards mean we will always need these digital diplomats to bridge the gap between our past and future devices?